Hey guys, welcome to WordsAtScale. So some of the questions that we all have right now are as follows. How different GPT-4 is from GPT-3.5 and whether Bing AI, which has GPT-4 inbuilt in it, is a viable free alternative. So I'll be running quite a few tests and I'll be comparing GPT-3.5 to GPT-4 within ChatGPT and within Bing. So it's a mouthful, but essentially I'll be comparing two different models and Bing as well. So let's start. So apparently GPT-4 is better at writing code, so I'll be comparing the outputs of the old version of GPT and the new one. So let's start with GPT 3.5 and we'll ask ChatGPT to generate an HTML code inline CSS for a website about jokes about AI. So let's see what happens. Okay, and we'll be using code beautify to see the code. So let's paste it over. This is jokes about AI. This is basically how it looks like. And we haven't specified the number of jokes. So there are 3 jokes in total. Why did the robot go on a diet? Because he had too many megabytes. What do you get when you cross a computer and a lifeguard? A screensaver. Why did the AI cross the road to get to the other side of the data set? Oh, the third one is a bit iffy, but the first 2 are pretty good. Made me laugh anyways. So let's see what GPT-4 does with the same prompt. And from what I'm seeing, there is no window from which we can copy, so it was kind of neat in the previous version of GPT-4. And while GPT-4 is doing its thing, let's ask Bing, that is apparently running on GPT-4 as well, and it is free to use. So it's creating a code as well. Oh no, I hate it when it does that, so it's breaking up the code. Okay, let's see what's... Bing is very fast actually. Let's see what Bing generated. So this is Bing. Jokes about AI. You can copy and paste this code into a text editor. We'll just get rid of these ones here. These are artifacts. This is better. So this one is Bing. This one is GPT 3.5. Why did the robot go on a diet? Because he had too many megabytes. What do you call a robot that always takes the long way? R2 detour. Why did the robot cross the road to get to the other cyberspace? Well, this sounds like a ripoff from GPT 3.5, to be honest. So I finally managed to put everything together. So this is GPT 3.5, an okay looking website, I guess. This is GPT-4, which looks better. Why did the AI go to school? Because it wanted to become a deep learner. How do robots eat guacamole with microchips? What do you call a robot that always takes the longest route? A Roman Catholic. What did the AI say to the programmer? Your code is so complex, even I don't understand it. Yeah, and this is Bing. So Bing... this is like a very shitty version of what even the GPT 3.5 did, so I'm not sure what's happening here. But as far as GPT-4 and GPT 3.5, GPT-4 takes the place. So this is GPT-4 once again, and this is GPT 3.5. Okay. And actually, as far as coding goes, GPT-4 is quite good, so I did this little test before I recorded this video. So if you go to my trickme.ai website and head over to GPT-4 quiz. You can see that this little quiz has been made with the help of GPT-4. So has GPT-4 been released? Yes. Is it factual? No. Is it connected to the internet? No. Can it process and analyze images? Yes, but. So this is a nice kind of quiz that you can actually check out for yourselves, because it does include the correct information about the current state of GPT-4. So this took me like 15 minutes, I guess, for GPT-4 to speed up the code and for me to correct it a little bit. Let's now look at the riddles. So let's just take the first one. And we have the answer here. So let's try GPT-3.5. The answer to this riddle is a horse, which is incorrect because it is glasses. And then let's ask GPT-4. So basically the answer is correct. So it said glasses instead of eyeglasses, but that should suffice. What about Bing? The answer to a riddle is a horse, and again, it guessed incorrectly. Okay, so it's more comparable with GPT 3.5, I guess, in this regards. So let's now tackle math. And this is one of these math problems. And so let's do something fairly simple. Let's go to GPT 3.5. So the riddle goes, if there are 20 people in a room and they each shake each other's hands once and only once, how many handshakes were there altogether? So this is calculating the handshakes, and it's guessed, and it says we have a total of 190. And so we need to see what the actual answer is, and the actual answer is 190. Okay. So I guess GPT 3.5 did well. What about GPT-4? It's writing some kind of formula. And while it's doing its thing, let's ask Bing. And with Bing, like every time I do a test like this, there is a growing suspicion of it just fetching the Google for the answer as opposed to running those calculations. And it says the answer is 190, which is correct. GPT-4, still, it guessed, yeah, again, 190, which is a correct answer. And I've actually come across a monstrous riddle, very difficult. It even says so on the website, that it's extremely difficult. This one here. So let's test it out. GPT 3.5. So the riddle goes, Captain Anne has a chest full of coins. When she arranges the coins in groups of 2, there is one single coin left over. When she arranges the coins in group of 3, 5, or 6, there is also just one single coin left over. But when she arranges the coins in groups of 7, there are no coins left over. What is the lowest, what is the fewest amount of coins she could have? And so we'll ask the same to Bing. The fewest amounts of coins Captain Anne could have is 301, and like I'm pretty impressed with Bing as far as speed, but not as far as the output so far. So it's running some calculations. It's basically explaining how it concluded that the lowest number is 301. Okay, GPT 3.5 says the smallest possible value is 5,101. Wow. This is way different than the Bing version. Okay, let's ask GPT-4 the same question. And while it's calculating, I'm actually curious to know what the correct answer is. And the correct answer is 91. So both Bing and GPT 3.5 calculated incorrectly. And it appears as if GPT-4 is doing some complex math. And I'm curious to know if it actually calculates the answer correctly. Wow, so the fewest amount of coins Captain N could have is 91. So hooray for GPT-4. And both Bing and GPT-3.5 guessed incorrectly. Wow. So there is a difference. Because there is this whole conspiracy theory going around in my comment section about GPT-3.5 being the same as GPT-4 and vice versa. But there is a difference, and it is quite noticeable. Now let's test something that actually was shown by OpenAI themselves. So we'll ask GPT-3.5 to write a short story about a French bulldog where every word starts with the letter A. Akil, the adventurous French bulldog, woke up early. Yeah, and it's not doing what we are asking it to do. This is very evident. Let's check GPT-4. Aloof Antoine, agile, adorable, amiable. Well, yeah. Okay, it's doing the thing. Let's try Bing. And again, Bing is assumed to be running on GPT-4. French bulldog named Albert always adored apples. No, it's butchering the task once again. So another test that I wanted to run is fairly obvious. And yeah, it's still going on. And all the words start with A. So we can stop generating. So I wanted to test long form copy. And let's just do something simple using Markdown. Write a 2000 word article about mining crypto at home. And we'll be measuring word count and originality along the way. And some people thought I was taken aback by the formatting, and I know that GPT-3.5 can do that. What I was curious about regarding GPT-4 is that it created table of contents, and within that it created interlinks. So that's what I was referring to when I was wowed with the formatting. So okay, this is the article. We'll start new scan. And we'll get rid of regenerate response, and we'll get rid of more, which is me. Choose, okay, sounds about right. So this is almost 800 words. Scan now. And it's 2% original. Okay. So we'll use the same prompt with GPT-4. And to save some time, we'll ask Bing to do the same. And here I'm at a crossroads because I can choose different modes, but just for the sake of it, I'll stick to balanced. And see, this is what I was referring to. So GPT-4 started creating table of contents, and when you paste it to your blog, that's gonna link to the individual H2s. And that is what GPT-3.5 is not doing. Let's check on Bing. Oh, that's a bummer. So it just wrote a paragraph. Maybe this is because I butchered my prompts, but okay, let's pick the creative modes and add a W. Using Markdown, write a 2000 word article about mining crypto at home. Okay, let's head back to, and GPT-4 is painfully slow. I'm certain it will become faster with time, but right now it's just taking a lot of time, and I'm getting a lot of network errors as well. So Bing is much faster. Maybe this is because it's not using GPT-4. Maybe it's a tell sign that it's not. And what I like about Bing, like it almost is one of the best free factual copywriters. So it uses references here, here, and here. So Right now, it's referencing this website here. So you can rely on the accuracy of the data, even though the article itself may not be the best quality overall. And sometimes it starts doing this, and I don't get it. I'm not sure why the formatting goes out of the window. And when you press more, sometimes it just messes everything up. So the article continued. Again. It's just writing in these small chunks that I don't appreciate. But again, this appears to be very factual. It is now referenced in Cointelegraph, PC Guide, Freedom Note, and other reputable resources. So I've had enough of this nonsense. Let's just pretend that this was it. Again, this is 2% was the score for GPT 3.5. And this was the half-baked article by Bing. And we'll glue it together with the other pieces, which again is a pain in the buttocks. Okay, this is the last one. Okay. So this is now 1300 words, but we had to start like 4 times. Scan again. So the chat GPT 3.5 was 2% and Bing is 69%, which is a pretty good result. Okay, it was very convenient, but it is factual, kind of, and it is highly original. So let's head back to GPT-4, and it's almost there. Okay. And let me just copy this over to originality. The all-time high right now is 69 by Bing. I'll be getting rid of these pieces of code because they can skew the AI detection. That's my guess anyway. I'm not sure about that, but better be safe than sorry. Okay, so I'll be getting rid of table of contents. And yeah, voila. Scan now. And it's 51% original. So it's less original than what Bing suggested and roughly the same amount of words. Interesting. So the last test I wanted to conduct for today was something that has to do with critical thinking. Let's go to Google Scholar. Let's pick something technical like NLP, like image processing and recognition. So let's copy the intro and the overview. That should suffice. And now, GPT 3.5, I want you to analyze the below text and suggest strong points, limitations, as well as ways to improve for better readability. So again, this is GPT 3.5. Strong points, the text provides a clear introduction, includes a useful table. Limitations, the text assumes some prior knowledge, could benefit from more examples, ways to improve. The author could consider providing more concrete examples. The author could include more visual aids. Well, sounds very reasonable. Sounds like a very good analysis. So let's feed the same to GPT-4. And I like the formatting. So it's kind of using these subheadings to guide the reader. Comprehensive overview, well-structured, informative references, limitations, lengthy paragraphs. Yeah, I like that better. I'm liking this better. So GPT 3.5 was just spitting out information, although quite good information, but GPT-4 is breaking up the text way better. So ways to improve: break up paragraphs, simplify language, use subheadings, limitations, lengthy paragraphs, and technical jargon. Yeah, me likey. What about Bing? The text introduces the topics of limitations, so this is very similar to how GPT 3.5 reacted to the paper. Interesting. So okay, let's now summarize what we did. One of the first ones was the riddles. And the answer was horse for GPT 3.5 and for Bing, so that is a fail. And GPT-4 guessed glasses correctly. Then to the math problems, again 3.5 and Bing returned incorrect information for the most ambitious of the math problems. So GPT-4 was once again the winner. As far as code, GPT-4 is a clear winner. Bing did something very strange, and 3.5 was okay. But still, as far as critical thinking, they all did okay, but again, GPT-4 was a clear winner. A long-form copy, that's a coin toss. I would say GPT-4 and Bing did okay, with Bing being factual and more original, and GPT-4 just being a better experience, but I'll give a slight edge to Bing. And the ABCs, meaning the story that should start with the same letter, that was butchered by both 3.5 and Bing. And the GPT-4 was once again victorious. So all in all, the long-form copy is a coin toss, I guess, between GPT-4 and Bing. And one could argue that if you're writing factual pieces of text articles, Bing may be a better option if you're short on funds. But all in all, these are some very noticeable differences when it comes to GPT-4, and it's clearly different from GPT 3.5. So that was it. Hopefully this clears some things up. And don't forget to visit my ChatGPT prompt library to get a hold of the newest prompts that I'm testing right now. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.